I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
And when he's at the top of his game, you see that big smile. That's when you know everything is clicking. That means he's accurate throwing the football. They can't get him down in the run game, and his team is having a whole lot of fun because when they score a touchdown, some fan's going to get lucky and get the game ball.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Newton. This one complete to Devin Funchess. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Set. 180. Not get hurt.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Solid.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On third down, it's Meyer. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Trey 15.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Over the middle, complete. That's Jordan. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Shorty.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. The quick slant caught. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Carolina getting set to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Set. 180.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Set. 180.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we'll put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
List by 2. Ram.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
74.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
The Eagles on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now it's Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
81. Great 15. Great 15. 5-9.
Now a play fake. Wentz. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
82.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Come on now. Let's go.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Throwing his Wentz. And this is taken him one-handed. What a catch. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves they do have a little grip to them.
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Carolina getting set to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, it's Newton. Caught on the right side by Adams. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a first down throw for Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. Touchdown, Carolina! Devin Funchess, 30 yards. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am, go ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know that.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
82, 81, 81. 46 down, man, 5-4.
To throw, it's Wentz. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before the break. Newton. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. On 3rd down, that's Meyer, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But we just saw him run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times out of 10. And in this case, they did it really successfully.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
74.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
46 down, man. 5-4.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end,
Still
holding.
first down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Lion.
Shotgun now for Wentz. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It's a solid pickup of 11, and it's 2nd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Ram.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On first down, this is McCaffrey, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
180.
To throw on second down is Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The Panthers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Set. 180.
From the gun, here's Newton. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hitting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On second down, McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Set. 180.
From the gun on third down, Newton. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
When you kick off and you go downfield and get the ball back, that's what I call a great opportunity.
In a one-score game, I always circle, and you know this, but in my play-by-play sheet, I circle big plays that could be turning points. This could be a turning point.
Did you put a second circle around this one? This
I put a star.
Big.
I put a star.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And the Panthers, who were the least penalized team in the entire NFL last year, come up here on a 1st and 15. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really... And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, 23 yards for the touchdown. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation in a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there. You see these...
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys... Hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
74. Shorty.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10, right at the 30. A shotgun snap for Newton. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that. I
don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
2nd and 10, Newton again. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Brett Kern now. He's been terrific so far. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Get over there. Go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
Ram.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there, a 22. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the 50, Newton. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. Back to throw. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there at 22. He'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. And if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on fourth down. Figuring they're going for it on fourth down. Remember, though, they do have all three timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those three timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee.
Hang in there now.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. this first week,